I don't even know you, and I hate your guts. I hope all the bad things in life happen to you and nobody else but you.
It's insane. It's really crazy the quality that of footage we used to watch and think was like fine.
Right.
Like it's so bad. You couldn't see next to anything.
I used to just be watching an old copy of Rugrats in Paris on a VHS that you'd have to fast forward past one part because it was like rubbed out.
Yeah.
Like it was Fast Times at Ridgemont High during the Phoebe Cates scene.
Rugrats in Paris.
I love that movie.
Are we recording, Gerardo? Rugrats in Paris.
Yeah.
That was because they all got canceled for sex crimes. And they had to move to Paris, Rugrats.
They were all dating Roman Polanski.
It's Rugrats in Paris.
They're all getting groomed.
Right. It was the new Kanye song.
Rugrats in Paris. One of them's dating Louis. She's got a podcast with Louis.
My girlfriend Dill Pickles, or that's my boyfriend, I guess.
Remember at the end of Rugrats? This is
Angela was the reference.
Yeah, I'm fucking Angela. Yeah.
My friend Connor, Connor McNutt.
Right.
He had this really funny joke, and it always stuck with me because I was like, "Yeah, that is true." The end of Rugrats, the opening theme song. Remember the end? The kid would squirt the camera with his.
Oh, it was like
sexual. It was obviously Dan Schneider came up with that.
Yeah, I've seen somebody on the internet put together a thing of like all the weird sex references from Rugrats, and it's like clearly this is
is there a lot of
stuff? Yeah, there's a lot of
unbelievable.
stuff.
They keep a screwdriver in their diapers. Which
What?
is a thing. Yeah, because remember they would break out of the little cage or the playpen with.
You had like a little
That's mild
toolkit.
compared to what's in the video.
He would pull the screw out of the front of his diaper.
You know what?
Where
I'm a little annoyed we don't have a TV in here yet because I want to watch a Rugrats scene because this is crazy.
Right, Jamie, pull that.
This is like when you find out that Thomas the Tank Engine is like a communist show. Like
really?
They're not a communist. There's some like heavy political undertones in Thomas the Tank Engine.
That was apparently a novel or something.
Oh, Thomas the Tank
I
Engine?
swear, yeah, something like it was like a novel that got turned into a cartoon.
There's like an entire episode where the tank doesn't want to leave its station.
Yeah. Right. Well, there's an episode where Thomas is taking prisoners to Stalingrad or Leningrad. What is the camps for Russia? Damn it,
Leningrad.
You know what I'm talking.
I know what you're talking.
It was called the Holocaust.
The Holocaust.
And Hitler bad.
Hitler bad.
I don't know, but there's an episode of Thomas the Tank Engine where like the train doesn't want to leave, so the people like get all pissed, and then they just build a brick wall for it, and they don't let it out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they're like, now we showed you, Thomas,
Right.
you don't want to work. That's what happens. We lock you up. Like it's like sick.
Berlin, yeah.
But yeah, Rugrats, they got. Fuck, yeah, it's a pedophile show probably. I don't even remember it, but I never. It was kind of creepy to me all the time.
I remember
Rugrats.
I was young enough when it was on that I loved it. That was my favorite.
I
show.
loved Rugrats.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't like the adults. They creeped me out. They were like, they seemed a little pedophilic. The adults in Rugrats.
Now I know that it's pedophilic, but when I was a kid, I'm not able to detect that.
I had no idea they were Jewish growing up.
Really?
That was literally I revisited Rugrats. Well, I revisited it, and there's a Hanukkah episode, and I had no idea.
I think we all watched Rugrats during the pandemic,
right.
Did we not? During
we
the quarantine,
we all got addicted to Xanax and watched Rugrats in Paris every day.
We did,
right? I did at one point during the pandemic. I bought Xanax, and I would text you guys every time I took it.
Yeah.
It was like an account, but I took
it was
Xanax
every day.
Every day.
Like, hey guys, going to Panda Express. Just took my Xanax.
Right.
Like, Chase, call if you need to talk. Yeah. I don't know what this is.
Hey, guys, going to race this Xanax home from Panda Express.
Feeling on top of the world, might splurge for the Rangoons.
No, but I took Xanax and I rewatched Wishbone. I don't know if you guys remember Wishbone.
What is Wishbone?
It was the dog that taught you about reading on PBS.
Oh, okay.
It was like Jack Russell
I vaguely
Terrier.
remember that.
Sounds very familiar.
Yeah.
And he would be like the hunched dog of Notre Dame. And he would play Quasimodo in the reenactment. Yeah.
And then he would teach kids how to read.
Yeah, well, he would be like books or like read a fucking book, you dumbass kid.
Okay.
I'm a dog.
What?
Piece of shit.
That show sounds insane if that's how it is.
Yeah.
We find out everything has an insidious background, and then they teach you how to read Mein Kampf.
Right. Yeah, Wishbone was a big fan of Ayn Rand.
I just remember I ended up at the house of the lady that runs Nickelodeon. Rugrats was a Nickelodeon show, right?
Yeah.
I went for whatever reason, somehow I wound up at the house of the new head of Nickelodeon.
Really?
Yeah.
Is this recently?
This was like a couple years ago with my famous. They're not famous. They're industry friends.
Right.
Those.
But
guys,
this wasn't
sure.
like Pizzagate stuff.
No. They had just fired Schneider.
Right.
They got out all the pedos.
I'm just trying to clear your name because this sounds.
No, this was
suspicious.
not.
Right.
I did not hang out with Schneider.
Were you guys snorting adrenochrome?
I was at the Den Entertainment Mansion.
Kevin Spacey was there. He was making another YouTube video in the kitchen.
Yeah, it's me, Anthony Rapp, Dan Schneider.
But I was there, and because they got rid of Schneider, Dan Schneider,
Right.
and it was like now the lady is like a lesbian lady, like that's who runs it.
Right,
Of
right.
course,
She molests the
Nickelodeon,
girls.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. they're more progressive now. They now only fuck the girls at Nickelodeon. But I remember I was there and I was drunk with my friend, and it sucked. The party sucked. So I at one point I think I said out loud I was like I was like. Hey, would this party be more fun if we were able to let Amanda Bynes out of your attic? That was fun. And that's another reason I've never gotten anywhere in this town.
Was there any kind of frowning?
People don't. What I've noticed around people like that, nobody reacts. They just go, they just like they pretend you're just being funny.
Yeah, because if you
but they make a mental note of it, like never. Ever let him in again.
If they acknowledge it, then it now becomes like a much bigger deal.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God.
Right.
Now it's
remembered. She was also, it was getting annoying. Like, we were all sitting by a pool, and we're all just trying to, like, drink and talk, and she kept, like, trying to make it, like she kept, like, doing cannonballs into the pool. And
How
she
many
was
people
like
were at this?
She was, like, fat. And so it was, like, the water was getting on us, and we were like, lady, like,
I don't know if...
But we all had to be nice to her because she ran the network.
So
it was so hilarious.
You're saying she was so fat that when she would jump into the pool, it would get you wet?
Yes.
Everybody's kind of annoyed.
It was getting obnoxious.
Kind of like a big Nickelodeon sketch.
Yes, like a Nickelodeon. It was like, what is this, Shallow Hal? Would you fucking stop jumping in the pool and try to talk to my friend? Right. I don't care that you're responsible for iCarly. Anyway, I just blew my chance at Nickelodeon.
Right.
And I love slime.
Where was the house, by the way?
It was in...
yeah, give us the address.
Where was it? It was in like the...
the old Sharon Tate house.
It was in it was like off Franklin, like it was like the Franklin Hills, Franklin Village.
Above like UCB.
Above,
East.
yeah, but like at the top of the
big
mountain.
mansion.
Right.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice.
Was it orange?
It wasn't furnished. She didn't really do much to the place.
Was the pool full of slime?
Huh?
Was the pool full of slime?
Yes, the pool was
like
full
Nickelodeon
of...
guys.
Yeah, that is very good.
Very good.
Very good. Yep. Yeah.
I found a Richie.
Dude, great job, man.
Yeah. I visited Nickelodeon Studios once because I was dating abroad. She still works in Nickelodeon.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That was my biggest dream when I was a kid.
Yeah. It's weird. You get there and then it's like, it's all decorated. Like there's little SpongeBob things and you go to like the Bikini Bottom area and there's like the Pineapple House and it's like, it's supposed to be this magical, but everybody there is like miserable. Like people are working these crazy hours. They're not getting paid.
Yeah.
Everybody, like she hated her job. It was one of the main reasons we broke up is she talked about it all the time.
Was there a contest going on? Was there people competing in a show?
What do you mean?
Like, was it one of the... So my dream as a kid was to go to one of the shows.
Oh, I didn't go to Double Dare. I just went to go visit the studio.
Oh, Double Dare just brought me back. Oh, my God.
You thought I was inside the big nose.
Yes! I fucking thought you went to Double Dare.
Right. I'm getting
what
molested
did
in
you
the
go
Hidden
to?
Temple.
What did you go
I just went to the head of like where they did all the voiceover and stuff.
Oh, so you were in an office.
I was at Nickelodeon like studios.
Oh,
I mean, they have
okay.
multiple. It's not all.
Yeah, but Universal Studios, you go there and they have sets that you can
that's a theme park though.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm thinking that you're describing.
Right.
Why would they have a... So you just went on a tour of an office.
Right. Yeah, of an office building.
I mean...
You're pissed at me.
I was so excited. I was like, wow, that's really cool.
Oh, I'm sorry to mislead you. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I saw a Microsoft's campus one time. It sucked. I mean, what?
I also was on DreamWorks campus.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that George Lucas? Is that George Lucas?
What is DreamWorks?
Oh no, they do all the Boss Babies and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And it was a lot
My
of
favorite
like,
stuff.
Yeah.
My favorite stuff.
They work on my favorite thing.
It was a lot of people, like we know somebody who's worked at, we won't say who's worked at DreamWorks, you know, a comic, and it's all very people like that, where it's like adults.
Okay.
People who are like, I'm fun and I'm like a 14-year-old kid, and it's like, you're not. You're an adult. You know,
Right.
have depression like the rest of us. Have the
time.
decency to want to kill yourself.
Just accept it.
Yeah.
Yeah, accept
Exactly.
it. Yeah, no, Nickelodeon was like the coolest fucking thing ever, though, when I was a kid.
Same here.
I loved Nickelodeon. I always thought Disney Channel was a little...
Yeah.
Disney Channel was for the... you know,
Yeah.
They were
was like the
Disney
kid-
Channel was for the people that were a little light on the toes.
Right, yeah. People watching Even Stevens, you know about them.
You know,
Yeah.
even Stevens was good, but
Right.
I love Shia. Actually, Disney Channel support like having Shia on their network.
Right.
Coolest fucking thing they've ever done. Shia is amazing. He's fucking killing
I love
dogs
Shia.
right now to
Yeah, that's
prepare
right.
for a movie that no one's gonna
Right.
see.
Yeah,
Did everyone hear about that?
Yeah.
He
Oh,
was
yeah.
Shia
The
LaBeouf.
accountant.
Yeah, he was in the what was it called? The tax accountant.
collector,
Tax
excuse me,
collector. He's
yeah.
in this awful movie called The Tax Collector by David Ayers, who I don't know what happened to David Ayers,
Right.
but he got a lobotomy and he's now like mentally like challenged.
He has
But
brain cancer.
He used
yeah.
to be like a really good director. He made like Fury, which I thought was
Training
really
Day.
good. Training.
Fury was amazing.
He made Training Day, or he wrote Training Day.
He wrote Training Day.
Antoine Fuqua
He
directed.
Training Day.
I looked it up one time. He also did Into Watch. Like the first
Yes.
6 out of his 8 movies that he directed or wrote were about the LAPD.
Right.
Almost to the point where it's like, this seems almost insane.
But wait,
Yeah,
so,
you
but
keep
Fury
writing
was
about
good,
it.
and then so it was Fury Fury Tax.
And then he he made Suicide Squad
Suicide
too, by the
Squad,
way,
yeah.
which I've had literally been stuck in traffic in this goddamn city because they're making Suicide Squad 7
Right.
in front of
Oh,
me,
yeah.
and I've seen Margot Robbie.
Robbie, yeah.
I've seen her like being whatever character she
Harley
is, like
Quinn.
in a truck, like
Yeah.
driving it, like. And I've been like so unimpressed because I'm like I am trying to get to my friend's
see,
house,
the hottest chick in
and
the
you're
world,
making the
and you're like,
worst
"Get out of
movie.
the
Get
road."
out of the way.
I am on Xanax.
That's what's crazy about LA. Exactly. I am on Xanax right now. I'm drunk. Get out of my way. I'm drinking a jug of Kool-Aid.
There's a gun pointed at my dick right now.
I can only drive unless I point a gun at my cock.
Yeah.
But that's what's really annoying about LA is that like you're in traffic for like 2 hours and then you get up and you go, what's been going on? And they're like, Zac Efron's playing a detective
Right.
in a movie you'll never see.
Right.
Sorry, you can't make it to work today. So whatever. But Shia LaBeouf was in this movie called The Tax Collector.
Yeah,
I saw
Tax
it.
Collector.
I saw the movie.
He
I saw
got-
it too. It's very terrible.
It's horrible,
bad,
right? He got a real tattoo. He like actually tatted up his stomach.
like a cholo tattoo.
Like a cholo tattoo. Yeah.
That's
I
such
don't
a
know.
mistake.
That's horrific. It's,
What a
It's
mistake.
insane. This is also after doing Honey Boy.
Yeah.
His big comeback.
He-
Honey Boy.
Yeah. Passion Project.
Amazing. Passion Project. Brilliant.
Well, you know what?
I loved Honey Boy.
No, because Ayer put him in Fury, which is probably his best role ever.
Yeah,
So I think
probably.
he just bought him like, I'm going to give you. You got like 3 tries.
Sure. sure.
You can put me in 3 terrible movies. Fury bought you 3 terrible
Right.
movies. with
Okay, so anyway, so Shia was dating the girl in
FKA
Honey Boy,
Twigs.
FKA
Megan Fox,
Twigs, who when I heard FKA Twigs, I thought that was the ingredients to the vaccine. I didn't know.
Was that the prostitute in the movie?
Yeah,
Okay.
Fakah Twigs is a person. She's
Fakah
not.
Twigs.
That is not a. That is not a. She is
not
not.
a strain.
She's not a molecule.
Right.
Fakah Twigs. FKA
A
Twigs.
smoothie recipe.
Yeah, exactly. It's not. I thought it was spirulina, FKA Twigs. So Shia LaBeouf dated FKA Twigs.
He dated acai bowl.
FKA Twigs.
I know.
Yeah.
She dated.
Can't take
Can
it
you imagine her at a
seriously.
meeting, like you, like at a meeting, like a guy in a suit being like, so Mrs. Twigs, is it Miss Twigs? Miss Twigs?
Yes. So Shia LaBeouf was dating, Lychee, and after the movie, and she, it was a Me Too. She Me Too'd him after.
Yeah.
And then she came out in this article saying that to prepare for The Tax Collector,
Yeah.
the movie that literally no one on earth saw,
Worst movie ever. It's
Worst
like
movie
a 5%
ever
Rotten
made.
Tomatoes.
that Shia LaBeouf was to get into his role, into his character, he was like killing stray dogs.
Yeah, like stray dogs.
around
No
town,
way.
like
Yeah.
shooting like stray animals. And
Just
That was the
consider-
one where I kind of turned on him
it
a
made me
little bit.
really
Yeah.
upset. Rape is one thing,
Right.
but you. But yeah, no, I mean, it's like I don't know. Shia's nuts. I don't even want to go there. I love Shia LaBeouf. He reps Echo Park.
Has he
I rep Echo
was-
Park.
Is this new? Did this just come
This
out?
happened
This
like maybe 8 months ago.
Yeah, like 7 or 8 months
Yeah.
ago.
Missed that. Did he respond to it? Did he say no? That's not
No,
true?
he
No.
responded, but he was like basically like, yeah, it's all true. You know, I'm shy. It's all true. So
What in God's name?
you know.
I mean, every episode of this podcast could be about Shia LaBeouf's life.
That's
I'm a
true.
huge
and it would be fascinating.
I
I
forgive
love
him.
Shia
Big-
LaBeouf.
I
Big
love
Shy
dogs,
fan.
and no one should ever hurt a dog.
He was
No, but
great.
there's a lot of them.
He was great in that movie.
Stray and
You know, trying to give him some credit.
what
There's,
if
a
they
lot,
had
there's a
rabies?
lot of them.
What if they had rabies?
What if they probably did?
You know
I'm
what I
going to
mean?
give him the benefit of the doubt. The
He was
dogs he
work-
killed had rabies.
He worked for a vet or something. Yeah.
They were
Right.
bad.
They were
dogs.
racist dogs. They were
But
all
yeah,
German
I mean,
shepherds.
Shia's had a rough time. I remember Shia stole. He made a whole like short film, and he stole the entire idea from
Yeah.
Daniel Klaus,
That was a classic.
the comic
Comic
book
guy,
writer
Yeah,
who wrote Ghost World, which was like one of my favorite movies.
he's a great comic book.
Yeah,
writer.
he's great.
He was in Pieces of. I was looking it up. He was in Pieces of a Woman last year, and he's really good in that. I don't know if you've seen it.
Shia.
Shia.
Didn't see
yeah.
it.
It
Pieces
was kind of a
Woman.
sleeper. The movie's like okay, but he's almost like a young Brando type of role where he's just like kind of animalistic, like a
Right.
dumb guy, but he plays
Right.
it so well.
I mean, he's been trying to do shit like that the right way for a long time. Like, wasn't he in that movie Nymphomaniac and like Lars
Yeah,
von, and it was like,
I don't fuck with Lars von Trier.
I don't like Lars von
I
Trier.
don't give a shit.
He makes me feel small
Yeah.
as a person. I don't like that. Which actually means he's like actually kind of brilliant. Like
Right.
Melancholia was probably the
Oh
worst.
fuck! You know, I like
Probably the
I like
worst
that
I've
movie.
ever felt after
Yeah.
leaving a
No.
theater
Yeah.
ever after seeing that movie. I hope
That's
I
my
hope that
thing
man
is-
suffers.
Yeah.
I like
for
that
eternity.
movie, but it gives you an atrocious kind of haunting.
It's
in
just
your bones.
horrific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's horrific.
Yeah.
It's a movie about depression and the end of the world and the
Hopelessness.
a planet
yeah.
colliding with Earth
Nihilism,
and people
yeah.
preparing for it. And there's like this. There's like that
Yeah.
that guy that's like the scientist that's like he's like convinced like no like
The
it's
dad.
not gonna happen.
Yeah, the patriarch of the family.
Yes,
Right.
yeah.
He's like, look, guys, I've done the math on the thing. Look, I mapped it out. You can see the trajectory. It's like it's not. And then he kills himself.
Yeah,
Right.
then he kills
And then
himself
the-
in
And
the
then the
bar.
The
rest
depressed
of the-
woman is like has the power in that moment.
Yeah, exactly.
It was brutal. Great movie, brutal, horrific. Never
Also,
want to
he
see it
looks
again.
Like, he looks like shit. So
Lars
I
von
don't-
Trier.
I don't respect.
Yeah, I
him.
don't like that either. I don't like
Yeah.
anybody that's trying to make movies about like fucking sex in the woods with demons and whatever he does. Willem Dafoe's in too many of his movies. Willem Dafoe just is like a demon to me. Like it's like if there was a man that we never needed to put on makeup for
Right.
being like scary.
He's the
He's just the natural evil guy in every movie.
But he's been cast as the hero, and so he was cast as Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
In the
because Jesus is a
Scorsese movie.
fucking evil Jew.
Devin, you gotta pump the brakes on some of these attacks.
I'm Jewish.
I know you're Jewish,
Yeah.
but for other stuff,
I converted. So.
Well, Jesus. No, he's a good guy. I've met him.
Yeah. No, I wasn't concerned about upsetting Jesus people.
Yeah.
I was
Jews?
You can shit on
I
Jesus.
forgot you were Jewish.
He's
I was
Jewish
just saying.
too.
Oh well,
Right.
I'm Jewish.
Don't touch me.
I converted.
Dad Jew.
I'm
Yeah.
Jewish. You know I'm Jewish.
Look at how they act. Look at how
I
they
defended Israel.
Look at how they act. Can't even touch them. Oh, imagine what they do if I was Palestinian.
Wow,
is this a little too much?
Canceled.
Gonna pull out a bazooka on the podcast.
Can I have some food? Can I have some food? A little too much.
You're gonna have a rocket-propelled grenade.
Yeah.
How does that sound?
Here's the thing, man. Israel and Palestine, they just like they
What's the thing? Here's the thing.
Here's the thing, y'all.
Here's the thing.
Israel, Palestine, they out here acting like they ain't trying to secure the bag. Like, you got a bag. Secure the shit. Get yours. And then we can all, like hang at the crib.
Yeah.
But the thing about Israel, Palestine is... It's one of the biggest rivalries I've ever seen. We're talking Lakers, Celtics,
Right.
Yankees, Red Sox, Israel, Palestine. And it's rough, man. It's a tough situation, but it's a great rivalry, and I hope it continues.
Is that Stephen A. Smith on the conflict?
It's Stephen A. Smith like Israel, Palestine. It's absolutely what's going on over there is absolutely deplorable. I can't even believe it. I'm watching Israel. They're swatting rockets away from Palestinians. The Palestinians don't even have a chance. Meanwhile, you're the Palestinians. You're trying to get your area back. You want your area back. But they're the Jews. They're the Jews. And they're dear, dear friends. Yeah. They're dear, dear friends, the Jews.
I was at dinner with the Palestinians last night, actually. And
I was at dinner with Benjamin Netanyahu just last night. He's a dear, dear friend. But, Max, are you telling me that the Palestinians deserve their land back? Is that what you're telling me, Max?
Oh my goodness, that's maybe the best character I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Stephen A. Smith.
Stephen A. Smith tackling the conflict.
I believe Stephen A. Smith could tackle any topic. He's incredible.
I agree.
He's absolutely incredible.
He's my favorite
I'm a huge
person, I
fan.
think. I think
People
Stephen A.
talk
Smith's
shit
my
about-
favorite person.
When he entered MMA and he started like commentating on MMA stuff when he didn't know what the fuck at all he was talking about, so many people got upset, but I was just happy to have
With
him.
Rogan.
I mean, we got like a real star commentator talking about our sport.
I know.
Sure, he's going to have a little hiccups.
No,
a little learning curve.
It wasn't even a hiccup. It was brilliant. He said something, it was about Cowboy Cerrone fighting Conor, and he said something about like Cowboy didn't show up. He wasn't trying. He doesn't even care anymore. And it was just like Conor just had a really good fight. And it's very insulting to say that about a fighter.
Right.
But it was a genius take because the next day it had 20 million views.
Right.
Right.
Nothing
it was
gets
amazing.
that many views in
He
MMA.
knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he knows what he's
He knows
doing.
what the fuck
It was
he's doing.
perfect. It
He
was
doesn't
brilliant.
and then he refuses to back down. He's like, Joe Rogan, I know what I'm talking about. I've done this. He's like, Joe Rogan, I've done this for a long, long time. You know, so he's like, I know your mother. She's a dear, dear friend. He's like, Tom Segura's a dear, dear friend. Brian Redband, Joe Rogan, he's a dear, dear friend of mine. I am not trying to insult any of your dear, dear friends. But when it comes to Cowboy Cerrone, the man did not show up. He was not trying. He threw the fight. It was a bad look for all of Ultimate Fighting.
Oh my!
But it's amazing. I watch that. I get drunk sometimes, and I watch Joe Rogan just getting annoyed, like gradually with Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, no, it kicks ass. I wish he would come back. They stopped letting him in.
He should be on the podcast.
He should be on every UFC. He should be one of the guys.
I love Stephen A. Smith so much. My whole life watching him. I was a kid. I was like, I just love that guy.
You always loved him. I've never disliked him.
I've literally never disliked him.
That's awesome.
Ever.
Really?
A lot of people hate Stephen A. Smith, and I understand it because he says.
I thought most. Do you like him, Richie? Have you ever disliked him?
I love Stephen A.
You've always loved him.
I love Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman. Because even when they say things that I'm like, I so disagree with, I know what it is. It's like they're doing a show.
Yeah, it's a show.
It's a show.
It's show business.
What they say is not exactly what they believe, and sometimes what they say is great, though. Like, they know what they're talking about, but sometimes they know what they're talking about, and they're saying the opposite of what they know to be true because it provides ratings.
Promos.
Yeah,
They're trying to be entertaining. They're saying what's going to get views.
I respect any man just like going off, even if sometimes they don't know exactly what they're talking about or it gets a little out of pocket. It's incredible. He's amazing. Look at what he did this week responding to Kwame Brown.
Yep.
It was fucking hilarious. Kwame tried to say something. He just put a highlight reel up. He's like, Kwame, look at that. Dropping another one. Pull it up. Another one. Dropping it. You're terrible. You're disgusting. You're one of the worst players I've ever seen in the NBA. I don't want to hear shit from you. I got 15 more minutes of this.
Yep.
That's awesome.
And this is after saying he was never going to respond to Kwame Brown. For like a week, he's like Kwame Brown. I'm not going to even go there. I'm not going to even go there.
But then,
and then a week in, you turn on ESPN, it's an entire segment called Kwame Brown's an idiot.
Destroyed, yeah.
And Stephen A. Smith's just standing in front of footage of Kwame Brown dropping the ball. And he goes, ladies and gentlemen, look at this one.
Right.
Look at that one. Look at this. Need I say more?
And his setup too is like you said, I'm not even going to respond, but I've been getting emails. I've been getting calls.
Yes, yeah.
And he always said stuff like, I didn't want to do this, but you made me. You're terrible.
Honestly, everybody better watch out because Kwame Brown is this close to fucking pulling a Columbine on like all sports broadcasters. He's so tired of everyone's shit. He's like, yeah, we ain't playing basketball anymore, little bitch. He's like out here.
Small hands turn to trigger hands.
He will go to church and then
it would be funny
kill
if he tried to do shooting but dropped the gun. It's time to, damn. And the gun just breaks in half.
He gets out of the car with his friend. They're going to go shoot up a bunch of people that have been talking shit about Kwame. His friend throws him the gun. He drops it. He shoots himself.
Right between his legs, blows his dick off. Yeah.
Phil Jackson pops out of a fucking bush and he yells at him. He goes, Kwame!
Kwame! Shoot him in a triangle formation.
Kwame Brown. He made my life a living hell.
How long did he play for the Lakers until?
He played, God, I'll never forget. We traded Karan Butler for him. Mitch Kupchak traded Karan Butler for Kwame in the 05 offseason. Mm-hmm. He played for us 05-06, 06-07, and for half of 07-08, and then we traded him for Pau Gasol.
I just remember because I didn't really watch the Lakers that time, but every once in a while I go back and watch Kobe's 81-point game.
Yeah.
And it's funny, in the 81-point game is Kwame's dropping a lot of passes in the game.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, no, and that's what Kobe would have had more assists that game. I mean, literally, it was like, I've never watched anybody actually be worse at what they're supposed to do. He was only good at, not even good, he was only it was like, he was manageable at defense. Like, he could kind of play defense because of his body. But I've never seen a man, he had baby hands.
He had it was so much, on TV you could see it.
You literally could see it on TV.
It was like somebody cut off his hands and switched with the baby.
Like, how did he make the team, and then why did it go wrong?
Okay, Kwame Brown was the number one pick in the NBA draft. Okay. I think in like 2003 was LeBron.
I want to say
I don't watch any basketball.
04 or 05.
Something like that. Or maybe even earlier. I don't know. But number one pick in the draft. Okay. Michael Jordan is the GM of a team. He's running the
Bobcats,
the Wizards. The Wizards.
Oh, was it the Wizards?
Time. Yeah, he drafted him to the Wizards.
My apologies.
He drafts him, and he's like an immediate bust. And
why? What went wrong? Just the nerves.
Well, not an immediate bust. He didn't even get time. Michael Jordan is Michael fucking Jordan, so he's not. He doesn't understand why everybody's not as good. He's like confused all the time, like why it's hard.
Yeah.
So it's not a good combination for a guy with that mindset to be like running a team. Like, you need to like know.
He's will nurture you and teach you stuff.
He's not the nurturing guy. So
Jordan fucked him.
It's a lot of Jordan's fault. Okay. He fucked with him mentally. He drafts him. I heard that he hung out with him for like the whole first year. Buddy.
Right.
Real like supportive.
Yeah.
Then as time went on, he starts getting annoyed with him making mistakes and shit.
First season was okay.
I wouldn't say it's good. I don't 100% remember, but I wouldn't say it wasn't like, no, he didn't like make an impact.
But enough for Jordan to stick around.
There's tons of rookies that like they need 3-4 years, sometimes 5 to even do anything.
Patient.
He's being
for 1 year.
He's being patient for like a year, buddy, coming to practice, hanging out with him. Then just like one time, Jordan's just had it. The kid just
enough is enough.
He just keeps dropping ball. He's just not living up to the number one thing, and Jordan's impatient. And he feels like it reflects on his, decision-making abilities. So he just starts abusing him in practices. We're talking, like, big-time stuff. Calling him the F word in front of the team.
Oh, no.
F agate.
Mm-hmm.
That.
You just said the word.
I said F. I said F.
No,
and then I said...
That counts
and then the rest of the letters.
Sensory, yeah.
I said agate.
You spaced it out.
Governor Greg Abbott. Imagine being called that in front of a bunch of NBA players.
That would be
no, not by anybody.
Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
Well, here's a weird story that I happen to know. I don't watch basketball, but I did when I was like 8 years old for a period of time, and Muggsy Bogues was my favorite player on the Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah.
And there's a famous story about Muggsy Bogues where Jordan was guarding him, and he's going to take a game-winning shot. And Jordan's, he could easily just fucking like get in his face.
Yeah.
But Jordan takes a step back and goes, "Take the shot, you fucking midget." And he just takes a step back.
Yeah, that's happened.
Muggsy Bogues like, "Ah!" And he just like fucking whiffed.
Yeah.
And Muggsy Bogues says that he never mentally recovered from that.
It like ruined his career.
Yeah.
He could never shoot after that.
So Jordan, first of all, Jordan has a weird fucking.
So can you imagine him picking you?
On the Dream Team, Clyde Drexler was one of the best NBA players of that time. Like, he was very good.
Okay.
He was on the Dream Team with Jordan. Jordan got in his head so much mentally just by kicking his ass in practice that one day Clyde Drexler, who's making probably $20 million a year to play basketball,
Right.
Clyde Drexler accidentally grabbed 2 left shoes out of his locker, put them on, and he was so afraid Jordan would make fun of him that he did the whole practice with 2 left shoes on, like fucking his feet up.
Yeah.
This is like a 6'9", beautiful swan of a man. And Jordan is like making him wear 2 left shoes.
What does this guy have? These I've never heard of anyone having that kind of mental shit-talking ability ever.
Yeah, other than like maybe Bird or something. Yeah.
I don't
Bird,
know. I don't know
Kobe.
much
I mean,
about
but Michael
Bird.
Jordan's still like the most vicious we've ever heard of.
Right.
I mean, but it's even crazier when you think of him in like the businessman position.
Right.
And like he like believes in you.
Yeah.
And you can't.
And also the
you're just not
spotlight
good.
is-
Your hands are. You have literally have
little baby hands.
And Michael Jordan just never looked somehow. No one looked. No one ever shook his hand.
As he was shining his hand for the
Does that
contract.
hurt you in basketball?
Yes,
of course.
He literally, there's endless compilations of him not being able to catch the ball
Because his hands are that
because his
small.
hands are.
that makes
I used to
sense.
call him Stone Hands Kwame. It was literally like you threw him the ball and it just bounced right off out of bounds. Next,
Man.
he was a disaster.
Can
wait,
you
so go
imagine
back-
him going to sign the contract for the Wizards, and then he picks up the pen, and it just looks like one of those novelty
Giant.
pens from the museum. And Jordan's like, "Fuck."
It looks
Think
like
we
a
fucked
novelty
up.
pen.
Yeah. Well, those giant pencils. Yeah.
But yeah, so Jordan just starts just treating him like shit.
Yeah.
Treating him like shit.
Gay bashment practice.
To the point where where at one point he like punts the ball, really pissed after a practice. Jordan like punts the ball into like the stands, and he tells Kwame to go fetch it,
And he goes?
and Kwame goes and fetches it
Oh my God.
in front of a
that's
bunch of grown men.
embarrassing, dude.
So then Kwame plays there,
Jordan broke this man.
broke him. Kwame plays there, maybe has 2 games that are worth talking about in like a 4-year period. I don't.
Averaged 10.7 rebounds and 2 assists in
10.7 rebounds, 2 assists his rookie year.
2003.
2003. That was when he was.
Rookie year was 2001.
Okay, 2001.
Jesus.
So 2003, that's his best year. 10 points, 7 rebounds a game.
Jesus.
Number 1 pick in the draft. Then he is traded to the Lakers in 2005, and it wasn't any better.
What were the
Wasn't any
Lakers
better.
doing? Weren't they good in 20?
Yeah, Mitch
2005?
Kupchak's an idiot. The GM of the team was an idiot. He traded one of the better players we had on the team, Karam Butler, for Kwame Brown because he thought we needed more big men, and he thought maybe Kwame just needed a change of scenery.
What was he trying to do
like,
the Shaq Kobe thing? Again,
yeah,
right?
which is like which makes Mitch Kupchak like he should be put down for this this decision. I remember being a child sitting in my dad's car on the way to school. I hear that on the radio and I start punching the walls. And my dad had to like settle me down because he didn't know what it meant, and I was just like, "This is the worst decision I've ever heard
He's
anyone
wrestling
make."
a helmet onto your
Yeah,
head.
he's like, putting me in my straitjacket. I'm
Yeah.
losing my mind. I'm like
Yeah.
foaming at the mouth at school all day because Karan Butler was the only good player we had, and we traded him for this mental weakling who I knew was terrible, like a laughingstock, and he continued being a laughingstock. There was another game years into this. Phil Jackson, greatest coach of all time. You're playing with Kobe.
Yeah.
Kobe. Yeah, it's like hilarious that we took that on. We're like, no. He didn't work with Michael Jordan. Let's see how he does with Kobe. Kobe's easygoing with people that suck.
Yeah, right.
So, he was so bad that at one point he told Kobe, don't pass me the ball because he was afraid he couldn't catch it.
What?
So Kobe tells Phil Jackson, he goes, get this fucking guy out of the fucking game.
I don't know
He
if
goes,
we
I
can-
can't deal with this shit.
Of course.
Of course.
Well,
So
get him
that
out,
happens,
yeah.
and Kobe was
That's not Kobe's
Kobe
fault.
was nice to this idiot.
Yeah.
I love you, Kwame Brown. Please don't kill me like you when you like. Don't shoot me with Stephen A. Smith.
It's a very competitive game. Imagine your teammate being like,
I can't pass you the
it's
ball.
an important position.
Yeah.
There's only so many guys on the court.
I know.
You got to pass the ball.
Right.
Got to be able
And
to
that
pass.
was an NBA where the center was still very important to the game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. This is when it mattered to be like a big man.
The
Kwame-
Mavs lost in the playoffs 8 years in a row because our post was Eric Dan Pierre.
Yeah.
Who was like, if Kwame Brown would just knew how to like not be a pussy, it was Eric Dan Pierre.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so he was just terrible for the Lakers. There's an entire home game. Like this was like a couple weeks before he got traded. This is when I got like nauseous watching the game as a fan when I was a kid because it was just so hopeless.
Yeah.
It's a sequence of like 9 or 10 minutes. It's on YouTube where Lakers fans just they're done. They're done. They're so done watching
With
this guy.
Kwame.
With Kwame personally.
Just only Kwame.
And Phil Jackson's the type of coach You don't know this if you don't really watch basketball. Phil Jackson was the type of coach that if things were going bad, his whole mindset was let it play out.
Okay.
They need to go through this.
Yeah.
Like they need to suffer.
Let them feel the shit.
They need to feel this to get better. So like if the team was losing and it's a 20-0 run and you're like, call a timeout. Like any coach will call a timeout. Phil would just not call a timeout.
Yeah.
He would just like figure it out.
Let's punish
You guys need to No, like his own team. Like
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, let's make them
you guys
feel
need to feel this. So Kwame has a sequence of like probably like 9 straight possessions where he like misses a dunk, misses a layup, loses the ball, dribbles it out of bounds, off his knee, can't catch the ball. Like literally like Benny Hill music should be playing. Like down.
Yeah.
Like it's like insanely bad.
Yeah.
And it's a home game and it's a big home game and he's just the talk of the town. And all of Staples Center just starts booing him. Every time he touches the ball. This is a home game. He's playing for the home team. And Kwame's
his own
getting,
team is
he's
booing
getting booed. His own fan base is...
Nicole Richie is booing him at the game.
Yes. Ashton Kutcher is with his Von Dutch hat going, "Boo! Get out of here!"
Jack Nicholson's throwing tomatoes at him.
Yeah. Jack Nicholson.
Jason Weeman Acuna is about to hightower Kwame Brown.
Johnny Knoxville's trying to hit him in the nuts. It was like horrific. So, and I to the point where I hated Kwame because I needed Kobe to win, and I loved the Lakers so much. But I was even like, I was like, oh my God,
I get why
this poor guy. Yeah. Oh my God, because it would go off his hands like out of bounds, and he would just be like, damn.
So even the Phil
running
Jackson
back down the court.
magic. The Jedi Phil Jackson
couldn't get anything through.
Nothing
There's
through.
no amount of psychedelics that could get through to that.
Yeah, because it really is. I've like experienced this in sports, like because I was a big guy, I was athletic, but I always had a mental block. I was great in practice, very bad at games because I would just freak out, and it becomes almost like the harder you try to do well, the more like you just start panicking.
Yeah.
And it becomes
I've had
almost
that
like
in sports. Yeah,
and you almost like it's like a brutal thing for like a 17-year-old to go through. Like just on like a high school level, because you're like, what is wrong with me as a person?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like that I can't do this. I can only imagine the entire city of Los Angeles
I
know.
booing you.
Stage.
You're like
Yeah.
24 years old. You're getting paid $20 million a year, and just the whole city hates
that's
you.
a lot of pressure.
I'm at home.
That's a lot of
I'm
pressure.
literally, I can attest at this point, I was probably, like in my opinion, I was the biggest Lakers fan on the face of the earth. Like I was such a psychotic kid. Like if I would have killed somebody.
Right. You would have
Over
creeped
it.
Jerry West out.
If
made
what
me-
happened?
If I don't know. If you
just would have killed
I just would have killed somebody because it was all I had. I was a fat little piece of
Right.
shit. I had nothing in my life. All I wanted was for Kobe to prove everybody wrong. I just wanted the Lakers to win. And this Kwame Brown was in my...
You would have killed Kwame
He was
Brown.
in my way.
Yeah.
Devin was
He was
like
in Kobe's way.
Devin was like De Niro in The Fan.
Yeah, I really was.
love The Fan.
I mean, I was like, I've
Wesley
kidnapped
Snipes.
multiple people. I
He's
can't...
throwing knives at a bug all day.
It can't end this way.
Yeah.
I've already kidnapped enough people.
Right.
Yeah.
So he
You
was...
have Kobe's little afro and goatee.
It was crazy. So then Kwame, out of some miracle by the hand of God, who I also hate because he killed Kobe. This guy. God. I don't like God. I don't like God or Jesus. They're both responsible for Kobe Bryant's death.
Yeah.
You killed him.
Yeah.
Christianity.
Right. Jesus
I blame-
watching.
I
Jesus
blame-
is a big fan of the
I blame
podcast.
Well, yeah, I know Jesus watches.
Right. Oh man. I'm sorry, man.
But somehow we traded him and like a bunch of bums.
Okay.
Actually, Marcus Saul, whatever. It's not worth telling people that don't really care. Ended up trading him like 2 weeks later for Powell. And the Lakers went to the finals.
yeah, only
Kobe
three
was the
short-
first
straight
four short
championships.
years later. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I
What was
ran
the
around my
first
school, I
championship?
screamed at everybody.
Did they win in 04?
Okay, they won in 99, 2000, 2000, 2001, 2001, 2002. Then they
Wait,
lost.
they won in 99? Oh, sorry.
So
Right.
04 was when
I thought you
Kwame
said they
joined.
won in 99 and 2000.
No,
Yeah, okay.
no.
I understand. what
It
you're
says
saying.
how the seasons work. 'cause it
So
goes-
Kwame came
Kwame-
03, 04.
No. In 03-04, the Lakers got Gary Payton, Karl Malone. They lost to the Pistons. 04-05,
whole team
Shaq
implodes.
left. The whole team implodes. It's Kobe and a bunch of fucking like TGI Fridays cooks. And then 05-06, it's about the same. But they have like a pretty inspiring playoff run, but they lose to the fucking Suns in 7. And then 06-07 they lose to the Suns again, and Kobe's like, I've had it. Like, no one, they're not trying to get me better players. Yeah. They just want me to, I'm just like going out, I'm doing anything I can every night. I'm putting up 81.
And that was a very tough Western Conference at the time.
Extremely tough.
You had the Mavs, Spurs, Suns, and like,
I mean, even the Rockets were good.
Even the Rockets
T-Mac and Yao, and it was a really tough Western Conference. It was insane. So Kobe demands a trade. It's the worst summer of my life. I'm freaking out every day. I'm carrying a fucking radio to school with me.
I didn't know he demanded a trade.
He demanded a trade. It was the way he goes, I'd rather play on Mars.
Whoa.
Yeah, they almost traded.
That's what he said. He said to Stephen A. Smith, he goes, at this point, man, I'll play on Mars. And I remember my stomach sunk. I was like, I'm going to.
Did you cry?
I sobbed at school. My friend, who I used to argue with this kid all the time about Kobe and MJ, and like he knew I was just like the Kobe kid. And then one day he comes up to me, this little scumbag, Tommy, I love you. He comes up to me and he goes, did you see the news?
Oh no!
All excited at lunch. He takes me to the computer.
Prick.
He takes me to the computer lab.
You sicko.
And he goes online. He's like smiling the whole time. He goes on ESPN.com and it says Kobe Bryant, demands trade.
Yeah.
Blah, and I'm like, I mean, this was the first death to me. That was the first time he died.
Well, he was in school.
Wasn't Tommy in school too?
Yeah, we were both in school.
How did he break the news?
It was lunch.
He had access.
And I don't know how he heard.
He had access.
But he took me to the computer lab and showed me the ESPN.com thing.
Tommy, you
and I started freaking out. So then I have to go to fucking Bible class or whatever. Yeah. And the star football player at the school is there, Dietrich. He's like really super cool German black guy.
Oh, you told me about
so hot, great eyes.
Yeah, you fucked him.
We had our time.
Right. We had a torrid affair.
We had a little thing. I don't know, but so I'm going to class and I can't. It's like it was like I was told my parents both died in a car crash. Like that was how big of a deal it was to me. Like him needing to play for the Lakers. It was all I had. It was all I fucking had. I wore a Lakers hoodie every single day, which smelled like absolute shit. Yeah. I probably never washed it. I was just the fat Kobe kid, and I would just yell about Kobe.
The more you describe it, the more it does sound like kind of a mental illness.
It was a mental illness. It was. It was.
No question about it. Devin was not a healthy child.
I wasn't healthy.
No one's ever disputed that.
Yeah, it's a monomania for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. You could easily take Kobe and put like trains like in that place.
Anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
Knives, swords.
The thing is, trains never die. So I'm sitting in class and I can't stop sobbing. I keep thinking because he demanded a trade to like the Bulls, and the Lakers were going to get like the worst players ever back. And I was just like, I couldn't even I was just so nauseating even thinking about the possibility of him
thinking about rooting for Carlos Boozer.
Yeah, and also it was just so attached to my life, like how an addict would be, that it felt like what am I gonna do?
I mean this kind of seriously. I think Kobe was like kind of a security blanket for you during a very tough time of your life.
100%.
Yeah.
He was also the only person consistent in my life. That's why I love him so much. That he never was not what I expected. Like he was always so consistent, and no one in your life showed up. In my life, no one showed up like he did. Right. Like all I had to do was tune into the channel he was on, and I was like, God damn it, this guy always does it. Like it's so I can always rely on him, even though it doesn't help my life. I loved basketball, and what he did was beautiful to me.
You have one constant.
And it was a constant. It was like, oh my God. All I know is I can rely on Kobe.
So this is like you have like a childhood teddy bear that you feel secure around, and then this teddy bear goes to your friend, and your friend owns it now.
Yeah.
That's and it's now trying to kick your ass.
Pretty much. It's like if Ted went and hung out with Ben Affleck instead of Mark Wahlberg.
Sure.
Whatever. But so it was horrifying, and I'm sobbing in class. And I remember the
What grade is this?
Freshman year of high school.
Yeah, it's not great. We all were thinking 9 in our heads.
I know everyone's thinking a young age. No, I was a freshman in high school. Woo!
Eesh.
I mean, this went on till fucking 3 years ago, I finally let it go. No.
No, I just want to switch my one quick thing. Tommy, you were right to do what you did. I'm
Right.
saying,
Yeah,
go
he's a
ahead.
scumbag.
We all would have done it. We all
So the
would've
star
done it.
football player of the team goes, "It's only basketball, Dev."
Yeah.
And I'm like in the back of the class, I go, "It's not just basketball, DJ." I go, "Shut up!" I'm like losing my mind. I'm like freaking out. I'm having like a full-blown panic attack.
That's so funny.
And then for the entire summer, every day, I had a crank radio. This was like, we didn't have, iPhones and whatever.
Right. You grew up in an
Telling me
old
about
mine.
these
I grew
giant
up-
vinyl fucking movie players and crank radios. What are you fucking? What are you talking about?
It was
So I
just
had a Victrola.
it was a radio.
I'm carrying it around.
It was a radio that you didn't need the batteries. You had batteries in it, but you could
I've seen one.
you could also like charge
Yeah.
it more
Yeah,
by
you
cranking
crank it and then it gets some
Yeah.
juice.
So I brought
The
it.
insanity continues.
I brought it everywhere I went.
Okay.
Everywhere I went because I needed in case any news dropped.
Right.
If Kobe got
like
traded.
you were in war.
Yeah, like
almost,
literally
yeah.
in war. Like I was waiting.
Did the boys win?
I'm not kidding. Like 100%. I was
yeah,
insane.
yeah.
I remember my dad's friend called me just to ask how everything's going. Like not about this.
Yeah.
Just how life is. And I pick up and I go, I don't know. It's not doing great. And he goes, "What? Are your mom and dad fighting? Like, is everything okay?" And I was like, "What? No, it's just
I don't know what they're
Kobe
doing.
wants to a trade."
And I love,
And he just started cackling.
I love during this whole time, both your mom and dad are like going through like a John Updike novel. Like they're going through like intense personal trauma, and you're just walking around in a dirty Kobe jersey.
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, my dad, I love my dad, but he never scored 81 points. he never had 62 points in 3 quarters. You know, I always had to tell him what was
your
going
dad
on
has
anyway
no
in the
titles.
game. No, not a single championship.
The
You
Kobe
know?
thing is it's a classic escapism as well, where it's like if you're focused on the problems actually at home,
Right.
that's a lot. It fucks you up worse.
Oh, it was.
You're like, let me focus on.
It was
NBA.
the yeah. Like it was. I mean, I'm sure if someday I'll talk to a doctor about this, and it was. I mean, there's some legal. There's some
It's
like
just-
medical
I think
name
it's-
to put on this.
I think it's literally monomania.
Yeah.
monomania.
Yeah.
Yeah, it likely
What
is.
is that?
It's you
Focused
have a
on one
mania about if you got to
About
break
one
the
thing.
word down.
Yeah, sure.
It's one
Oh,
thing.
yeah, we were talking about that.
Maybe.
earlier.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's obviously that.
I got one of those stories. I couldn't stop. I mean, it was like literally the only. I mean, it was also how I realized I was funny though. I'm happy that I had the mania because it was like I realized I was funny because of how passionately I would talk about this
Yeah.
guy, and then I wanted to not be like a loser, so I would then have to be like self-aware,
Yeah.
and make jokes about how
Right.
intense I was
Like,
about
I get
him.
this is insane that I'm crying
So
in
then,
class.
so
Yeah.
then, to get away with being so into Kobe,
No.
I would try and be as funny as possible.
Because if you weren't
as
funny,
like a defense mechanism, be like, no, I'm not some nut.
Yeah.
And then I'd
Not
leave.
some nut.
I'd like leave. I'd like be hanging out with my friends, and I'd leave at like 4:45 so I could catch like a 5 p.m. like Lakers Grizzlies game. And I wouldn't hang out. I wouldn't go to any parties. I wouldn't talk to girls. Because I'd be like Lakers and Raptors play at 7:30.
He's like, why would I?
Like
I don't
I'm
give a
not. I
fuck
can't.
about-
They're like, Devin, we have a girl here. She wants to suck your dick. She's going to fuck you. Come, and I'd be like,
Yeah.
I mean, listen. I mean, Kobe's out tonight, but the Lakers are playing.
you're getting your little dick sucked and you're cranking the radio, holding it up to your head.
Oh my goodness.
All right, hurry it up. Come on. Fourth quarter.
Yeah, no, it was like literally crazy. I can't even. I think back on it, and I used to look at people like, how dare you piece of shit, the way you think this is weird of me. I'd look at people like, you think I'm weird?
You're the weirdo.
You're the weirdo. You don't want to watch Kobe tonight? You fucking sicko.
You're like a wake up sheeple guy.
Dude, I was like literally like I couldn't believe people wanted to do anything else other than watch him play basketball.
Right. I've been recently rethinking all the people I knew in middle school. Like kind of like you where I was like, oh, that's a weird kid or that's a bad kid.
Right.
And now looking back at them with my adult eyes, I'm like, oh, this kid was getting beaten every day.
It's a defense mechanism
Yeah.
for trauma.
Yeah. I remember there was a kid who showed us loose change on the school. You knocked that loose. He went into the middle school computer lab and showed us loose change. And in my little Christian house, I was like, this is a bad kid. And it's like he has like lighter burns on his hand.
Yeah.
And like welts across
Right.
his back. He's just like getting beaten by like meth addicted parents every day.
He's also like he was like on the right track.
Right, yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm sure he's dead.
I mean,
been
that
dead
is
for
cutting
years.
edge shit.
Being into loose change as a child.
Depending on the
is-
year.
But if you were
that's
into
pretty
loose
good.
change at 14, you've been dead for a decade now.
yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
that's-
He's dead.
He's dead.
He's dead. It was Mac Miller.
Yeah, the amount of kids I knew, street racing accidents, shot in the head in Afghanistan. I've told you all this.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, Jace had friends literally named like Cactus Jack.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
Jace's like
you
best
don't.
friend growing up is named like Miller Lite.
Right, yeah. My best friend wore a big wooden barrel with suspenders over the top of it. Old Stinky Pete.
That's Stinky Pete.
Yeah.
That's Six Flags.
Yeah.
That's
This is Marlboro. That's his brother Marlboro
that's
White.
Marlboro Light.
Yeah, that's Marlboro Red. They were all shot to death in Afghanistan, kind of a Saving Private Ryan situation. Except they all died.
Oh, fuck.
They
You know,
all died.
They all killed each other.
Yeah.
It was
It was a Mexican
friendly fire.
they all killed each other.
Yeah, it's actually, not to brag, I knew the guy who killed fucking the Arizona Cardinals player. So,
Wait, what happened?
Pat
Pat Tillman.
Pat Tillman. I went to high school with the guy who
sorry.
killed Pat Tillman, not to
I know
brag.
Tillman.
Yeah.
Oh, you actually know him?
No. I'm just saying, what if I did?
that would have been sick. That would have been sick.
Pat Tillman was a great man.
I love Pat Tillman. Yeah.
Really amazing. Like when you hear like the things he said, it was like you're like,
No, he was an
I can't
awesome-
believe
yeah.
this guy actually
And hated
Yeah.
the war.
existed and hated the war.
My
Yeah.
friend, by the way, I won't say his name. He's coming from South Dakota. He has one leg. So he's my age. I went to school with him. He'll be here Sunday. I'm playing poker with him in L.A. You guys should come.
Okay. Where? Your place?
At the Hustler Casino.
Okay.
And so he got his leg blown off at war, and he has a silver star, which is like, I'm not 100% confident about this, but I think it goes like Medal of Honor, and then I think Silver Stars.
I know it's
Metal.
pretty high up there.
It's
It's not a Purple Heart.
no, exactly.
Yeah. It's
So
not a boring
What does a Purple Heart mean? What
Purple
did
You
you?
just got injured.
You got injured,
Oh,
so
okay.
you got. It's still great, but you got injured somehow. There's a lot of people get that.
Can you get a Purple Heart for like friendly fire?
Probably.
Yeah, no, I think
you
it's literally
do.
like any
Yeah.
injury. Like
Yeah, I
if you
think
fell
you
off
do.
if you fell off the car and broke your leg.
Yeah. So
you
my
get
friend
Purple
has
Heart.
a Silver
Okay.
Star, which is like Medal of Honor. I think Silver Star next.
And Medal of Honor means like you ran into the fucking place and you like undid the
Yeah,
bomb.
so there-
You committed
I
like
won't-
suicide, basically.
like you like
Yeah.
killed yourself
So
for the
there's
country. like,
I'm not going to say his name, but there's an action report online publicly. We can look at it after this, where he's basically commanding like a small group. I don't even know if he was commanding it. He might have just been one of the guys, and then shit went down, and he just kind of took charge. But the action report is basically like, all right, like shit starts popping off. They're ambushed. They're getting, they have to gain cover really fast. He's throwing people around, saving them, and I'm sorry if I get any of this wrong, because it's bad if I do. But so what it is, he's saving people. People get injured, and they're so heavily under fire that if you get up at all, you're probably getting shot.
right.
So what he kept doing was he would get up, somebody would get hurt, he'd get up, didn't give a fuck at all, or would run over, grab somebody, didn't have to do this at all, grab them, save them, pull them into cover. He kept doing that over and over again. So eventually, he stepped on an IED. Yeah, so fucking blew his leg off. So he blows his leg off.
IED.
IED.
Yeah,
And then
IUD is the one for pregnancy, right?
That's the thing. For a long time, I thought women were putting like nuclear weapons like in their, pussy. They
yeah.
were like,
Sorry.
yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry.
did I say it wrong?
You said IUD, but he stepped
No,
on
I
an
said no. I
IED.
did not. Listen back. I said IED.
Run it back. If
He
I was
stepped
wrong,
on
I'll pay everyone.
He stepped on a tampon.
I might have pronounced it bad. I'm very confident I didn't say that. I know.
Okay, my apologies.
That's okay.
Yeah, either way.
Shame on you.
You don't respect the military,
you
Jay.
cocksucker. You shot Pat Tillman. And I do it again.
Anyways, leg blown off. He falls down on the ground and he goes, Hill. Said his name. Can we cut that out? Is that hard?
You didn't say his name.
No, I heard his name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But he goes, hey, it's me. My name. He goes, just stepped on an IED, but it's not that bad. It's fine. I'll be fine. And so they're all like, okay, well, I guess it was like a dud or something. No, of course, his leg is completely blown off.
Jesus.
He said it's fine though. He managed that
Yeah,
under.
he looks
oh
at
my
it,
God.
and like so to him, his pants are still on, and so he can't see that it's like completely compounded.
Jesus.
fucked
Fuck.
up. So he's like, it hurts, but I don't know, it looks fine to me. Then so then he's in the hospital. They're patching him up and shit, and the legs off, and his like CO or some general comes in. They're like, listen, I read the action report. I am recommending you for the Silver Star. And he goes, I don't want the fucking Silver Star. He goes, give me a fake leg. I want to go back out
Jesus.
and help my brothers. Because he has this sense of, he's not one of these guys where he's like, I want to do this because I care about what the government thinks is good. He's like, he has
brothers.
He has this sense of, if there are people out there fighting this, I have some, and I get that, like, I kind of feel bad that I don't feel this.
Right.
If there are people out there in that terrible condition, I want to be out there trying to help them.
Right.
Like a real hero, like
Yeah.
a comic book hero.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's funny because, like,
I feel the same way. I live my life by that.
I've noticed that about
I help anybody.
I'm
can.
the exact opposite of
that's
that,
what I was
too.
going to say. I'm literally like, when you say that, I'm like, I would do not a single thing
No.
to help anyone.
No.
I do fantasize about, like...
I like truly wouldn't.
Yeah, truly. Truly. If you're like, you can stop the concentration camps in China, but you got to drive to Fresno. I'm like,
I know. Same. Exactly.
it's like 4 hours.
I'm like, there's a lot of traffic. I'm like, the concentration
Yeah.
camps are going to have
my
to stay.
car, my AC does not work. That's 4 hour. 4 hour drive.
Do you guys ever do this? Where you fantasize about you're walking by an elementary school
Yes.
and there's a shooter and you stop the shooter?
Oh, I've had situations like that, but never at an elementary school.
I just got
No.
the instant yes
right,
joke.
yeah.
I fantasize.
Okay, but no, you've never thought, like, I want to stop a shooter?
I do that when we're sitting down at a restaurant. I always, because they told me as a kid, like Wyatt Earp, he died because his back was facing the door. So for whatever
Yeah.
reason, I always, when I was sitting at a restaurant, I would never do it, but I would think, I'm like, oh, you need to be facing the door in case
Right,
anything goes
right.
down.
One of my friends did that recently. When I was back in South Dakota, my friend goes, hey, guys, and we know him. He's a roofer. He's like, there's no one that wants to kill him. Right. He's like, no one gives a shit.
Right.
But he goes, hey, guys, you mind if we switch spots? I hate when my back's facing them. And we all instantly just go like, what? We started laughing. We go, what are you fucking retarded?
He's like, I've done some shoddy work around town. He's like, there's a lot of patches in these people's roofs. I don't know what I'm doing. People are after me. They want to kill me.
I got a leak up in Somerset. There's a little fucking roof. Yeah. No, insane. But
no, I've never fantasized about stopping a school shooter.
That's my biggest fantasy.
I've fantasized about being the guy that
I've
does.
fantasized about stopping. I think I've told you this before. I would love VR to get real enough that you do get to do a school shooting.
Oh God!
You know what I mean? Like just to
Yeah.
try it out.
Well, we
if it's
talked about this
VR.
last episode. I think
That's
didn't
your
we?
first priority for VR.
Well, no, my first priority is I beat up my dad in virtual reality. I'm 11 and he's my dad when I was 11 and I kick his ass.
He's 11.
And I
too.
literally think I would never have depression or anxiety again if I did that.
That is interesting. I wonder if they were to. I mean, this is like we're getting into a topic where it's like, oh boy, but if they were to be able to develop VR for like.
You're going
Don't say pedophiles.
Are you going to do
Don't say
pedophiles?
Stick school shooter.
Don't say
Yeah,
pedophile.
school
shooters.
faggot,
Yeah.
but don't say pedophiles.
And say he also say the school shooter also wants to fuck the kids.
He always sneaks
So
it
this
in.
now
folks.
is a very twisted game.
It's twisted. It's a fucked up
Yeah.
game. But I'm
This is the
saying
new
if they were
twisted
to
metal
fucked up
game.
if they were to, we would never do that because we whatever. But it's like if they were to do that, would it drop the rates of those
I wonder. Yeah.
atrocities?
I have no idea.
What a combo.
You have
So
to
this
test
is
it.
a,
You'd
this is
have
a
to
school
test it.
shooter
That'd be really hard
pedophile
to test
in
also.
this.
Yeah, no, that's insane.
It is
Really-
hard to
you really
test.
made a
Yeah.
combo.
It's a hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Also, by the way, when I say I want to do that, it's not to curb anything. It's just I think it would be fun.
right.
To just walk around and like kid's head blows up.
Jeez.
But it's not real. It's virtual reality.
You're like the guy when people would play GTA, you just had to walk up with the hammer and just beat someone to death.
Oh yeah.
Well, that is how I would play GTA.
If
I was such a sicko playing GTA sometimes that I'd be like, "What's the rape button?"
yeah. I am very much.
I
if I was a
don't
raised
agree with
Christian-
any of this.
We're
I don't
kidding. It's
co-sign.
virtual.
Yeah.
I
no,
just
if I
feel
was a raised
myself getting-
Christian,
I'm kidding. It's literally. That's all. I'm just trying to be funny.
Of course, everyone's
I'm not
joking.
I am 100% serious.
I just
What
want
if
to say
we-
I'm
I
not
would
part of this.
What if the camera just explodes? The camera cancels us.
No, seriously. Like, if it's virtual, what is wrong with doing a school shooting? I'm going to stick with this point.
Jace, they're virtual kids.
Right.
I don't know. Actually, what's wrong? I don't care about anything.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the fact that
Kobe's
you,
dead.
No, granted, granted, if you told me you were doing this, I would be like, okay, well, that guy's
you'd make it
weird.
know, like, that guy's insane.
That guy's insane.
We're just spitballing here.
But also, I wouldn't be like, you should be in jail
But you
for
are
shooting
right.
the computer kids.
I'm going to defend this a little bit.
Yeah.
Why are we saying that's so much crazier than, like, you can play Grand Theft Auto, you can pull like innocent women out of cars and just kill them.
Right.
You can murder mass amounts of people and everyone just goes that. Like, I've seen NBA players that play video games
say the anti-Jewish thing
They're
on the live stream.
I saw the other day. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No. I saw the other day. They were like, it's like a live stream of an NBA player, and he's playing like the Golden State Warriors like in a couple days, and he's playing online GTA, and he runs up behind a guy that's in a Golden State Warriors jersey, and he shoots him in the he shoots the guy in the head,
Right.
and the guy falls off a cliff, and it's horrific. But it's Grand Theft Auto, so nobody cares, and all the comments are like, "Yo, they about to come out like hot next week, like during the game."
Right.
And I'm like, yeah. But I'm like, that's so weird that that's so normalized
Because
that you're just allowed to shoot people in the head in a video game and be like, "We're enemies,"
Right. Because that's a
But
very.
it's all jokes.
Now, if you
I think it's because it's not realistic enough yet. Like it's a
That's
game.
why we gotta put kids in them.
No, once it starts becoming like photorealistic, where you put the thing on and it looks and feels like reality, and then Jace goes in and starts.
Right.
Yeah, when blood sprays on my face, and in the living room with the glasses on, I go, oh, like that.
Yeah.
It's that
You
realistic.
put like
much.
a blood pack in
That's
it.
a bit
so it
much.
gets real.
You don't go to jail for it, but maybe that's
Honestly, we're
Crossing the
we're
line.
acting like they need to do all these things to like, oh no, it would make people healthier maybe, or like if the pedophiles could do it or whatever. They should just make video games where like your parents love you,
Right. No, that's
or
what
like
I mean.
your dad plays catch with you.
that was the Tony Stark plot of Ultron. at the
Ultron,
beginning.
yeah, the age of Ultron. Yeah.
I don't
He
know.
invented
I don't know.
that.
What that
He
is.
invented a tech to actually make his parents love him. Same kind of thing that
God.
you're saying.
Well, he created a simulation where he's hanging out with his dad
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's in VR where his parents love him.
Have they made an Iron Man movie with Downey Jr. yet, where this is in it, like this type of thing?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, is
That's
that
what
in-
it- Yeah,
it's
that
in
was
the Age
one
of
of the
Ultron.
main ones.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
I don't
Avengers
know.
ones.
I don't watch those.
Yeah.
But no, so it's a big idea. What you're saying, people agree.
Right.
And
But
it's a big
people use
thing.
the argument because like Christians will be like video games cause shootings, and everybody's like, that's not true. There's no transference between video games, and I also believe that. But then it's like, well, why can't you carry that to the X degree? There was that
Right.
video game from like 10 years ago. I forget what it was. It was like maybe like a Call of Duty or something where you have to shoot up a mall.
Yes, that's we talked
No
about this
Russian
on one
game.
episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where the guy, it's called No Russian, and
Yes.
you have to pretend to be a terrorist with these
Yeah.
crazy people, and you're in an elevator. The level opens up. The elevator opens. All the people you're with just start shooting innocent people in a mall, and you have to go along
And
with
that
it and
is-
kill a bunch of innocent people like at a fucking foot
Yeah.
action.
And there's no way that didn't. I'm going to reverse my opinion now because I actually don't want to do that. Because I think it's
No,
funny
it's
to
fine.
say. I wanna,
Yeah, reverse.
It's like that.
We're reversing.
I would never make that because I do think that does encourage school. Like, how does it not encourage shootings?
I saw that.
How does it not?
I played that game with my friends.
I think if I was
I left early when we played it.
yeah.
I called my mom. I go, pick me up.
something
I want to go play this alone
I was
at
like,
home.
I need to play this. I go, Mom.
Everyone turned it on. So
I go, Mom, pick me up. I can't jerk off around these guys.
Mom, my pants are full of jizz. Yeah. You take your pants off and just a wall of jizz comes out. Yeah, I played Red Dead with Kevin, and he's showing me how you can like blow, like you point the gun at the guys from 2 feet away, and it's photorealistic.
Yeah.
You blow, it's like his brains go at the
You
top
see
of
his
his
brains.
skull.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
Love
like
that.
insane.
It's insane. Yeah.
No, these games are, I mean, they're so soothing.
Right. Yeah.
No, it really is crazy. I mean, but what's crazy is like earlier we were talking about it. People go, don't go too far. Like, this is we're getting into crazy territory here. But it's not, because the initial territory is that we have video games where, like you just said, you could see a man's brains get... Why is that any less crazy than anything we've said?
It's just future speculation. That's all we're doing.
I guess the argument is, like, it could get so crazy, and maybe it is now. I don't know. Probably. My thinking is no, that it's not. Like, violent video games and violent movies have no... Currently, they don't have any kind of, like, transference to actual violence, but I suppose it's possible if it gets totally photorealistic and it looks exactly right, and you get addicted to fucking blowing people's heads. Maybe, I don't know.
But
I doubt it.
That's also funny. Is like, not to like pull left or right thing, but I just realized, like, the less argument back in the day when Republicans were saying these video games cause shooting, violence in music. Which I'm pro all of these things.
Right.
So am I. I think
violence in music causes
any of that.
like women beating and stuff like that.
Fuck bitches, get money.
Yeah, and the left is saying, like, no, there's a difference between art and this, and now the sides have, as we've talked about, kind of reversed, where it's like, no, media actually does reflect the way people act in real life. Where versus if you do a joke about XYZ will actually happen in the physical space we inhabit. You know,
art imitating life.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, could you, like, the fact that just getting fed certain media via the algorithms and all the stuff you learn on The Social Dilemma, if that applies to potential VR, then maybe. I don't know. People went and stormed the Capitol just because they kept reading certain things.
I know with anger, I've been getting more angry as I've been getting older, just because I think I get less anxious.
I like that.
I get less depressed. I get less depressed. And I get more angry.
Yeah, fuck being chill.
No, anger is depression turned outward.
Right.
Very
Which
good.
Jennifer Melfi says.
Very good.
Thank you, Melfi.
Originally, Freud said that back.
I've heard about him through the
Melfi's read a lot of books. I'm
The
sure.
Sopranos has told me about Freud.
She has huge tits. So.
I know who Freud is.
That's you at a big college party.
Because of The Sopranos. I'm at a college party. I go, Freud, The Sopranos.
Right. People in tweed jackets and a pipe. Oh, yeah. As Freud, classically
I go, Dostoevsky, The Sopranos. Yeah.
Yeah, a great man once said, "I'm a fool to do your."
People were
dirty
talking
work."
about Sun Tzu. I go, Sun Tzu, Sopranos.
Quasimodo predicted all this.
I go, Quasimodo, Sopranos.
Yeah. That
I'm at a party just like an idiot in the corner.
You run out of stuff. You're like, man, when they killed Fat Vinny for being gay, man, that was fucking hilarious.
And then they're like, what?
What? Completely missed the point of that whole arc. Like, man, I'm so glad the heroes won and killed Vinny. Vito. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Devin just thinks philosophy only exists in The Sopranos.
Right.
No, I go, philosophy's dope. Like, I love The Sopranos.
Right. As we all know, AJ has to imagine himself rolling the ball up the hill. That he is happy. Oh shit! What were we just talking about?
VR
and
VR and whatnot.
You were about to. Oh fuck! I don't know.
At
we went on a tangent.
Brilliant point that would make everyone love.
We were being hilarious.
Hilarious about
tangent.
Tony.
Something about it's not. It doesn't transfer. You don't support censorship, but it might.
Art imitating life.
Right.
Life imitating art.
Yeah, it was something. So I think I don't know. I think I rest kind of in the middle where I do think it does imitate. Like, it can influence
life imitates art.
I do think it can influence life for sure. I mean, like, like there's a famous podcast we all know who said, "Don't I wouldn't take the vaccine," and there's part of me that's like, "Oh, I think that you shouldn't say that."
Well, I don't want to call that
one
art.
way or the other. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
I was thinking that. When
was Conan's podcast, right?
That was the 3 questions with Andy Richter.
Andy Richter told people not to take the vaccine. You fucking irresponsible Jesus.
Yeah. Andy Richter's podcast where
maybe
he whips
don't
himself
tell
with a
young
belt.
people to not take the vaccine. Andy Richter. Yeah, I don't know though. Is that true? I don't know if I subscribe to that.
Yeah. I don't have an answer. It was just an interesting.
But I have seen police chases where the guy. Actually, I do.
Okay.
Because there's a famous police chase of this idiot that took people. He took the cops on like a 4-hour chase where he was getting out of cars, throwing women out of their cars, like literally out of Grand Theft Auto.
Right,
Like it all looked just like Grand Theft Auto. And then he's in prison and he's talking to like his girlfriend or somebody through the glass, and he's like, "If you see me," he's like, "I'm on the news. I'm on so many of these. I'm on so many websites."
Yeah.
He's like, "When I'm out of here, it's gonna be so easy to monetize. Like this is gonna be great.
Really?
It's gonna be great." And then
Jesus.
he got, and guess what? Guess what happened to him? 180 years in prison.
Great.
Good.
Great.
Yeah,
Just
good.
because he talked.
I mean,
he didn't even do anything that, but he actually almost killed a
Was
cop.
he at
Right.
3
Ray-
strikes?
He almost ran over
Did he
a
have
cop.
multiple felonies before?
No.
Well, then, so
He was used
here's
as an
a
example
lesson.
or something.
This is a lesson for especially your viewers, because a lot of these guys are probably going to
Oh,
jail.
every single
some
person
point.
watching this is planning a shooting right now.
Here's the thing: if you're ever committing a crime, I've been reading a lot of true crime shit lately. If you're ever committing a crime, make sure never to act in a way that the judge can look back and see it where you're gloating about the crime.
Right.
That is automatically
Automatic, like-
Right.
50 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, judges hate
Yeah.
for winners.
Never gloat about your crime publicly.
Act like you've been there before.
Exactly. No.
Wait till you get off, then fucking rave
Never be
about
on.
it.
Never
Yeah,
be
like
on.
OJ.
Yeah, exactly. Or tell your friends in private. I love committing this crime. I'm
Yeah.
really great at it. Blah blah blah.
I love committing. Imagine being a guy that's like, I love committing this crime.
No, I've been doing a lot of research on this. lately.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not even kidding. Gloating about a crime where it's recorded publicly and where
Yeah.
a judge can see it skyrockets your sentence.
Yeah, I've seen that with people laughing in court at like their
Yes,
victim on the
yes.
stand.
They hate that.
And
They
the judge
hate
is
that.
like 180 years.
By the way, that's not a tip. If
Yeah.
you're like a pedophile, don't use my tip to get
Right.
a low sentence.
These are only for school
I'm
shooters.
talking about if you're a shooter,
Right.
if you're if you're some kind of fraudster or something like that,
Yeah.
that's a con man. These are tips for you guys.
Right. Any crime that
Victimless
couldn't get us
crime.
canceled.
Victimless crime.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you need to hear that, you're getting caught. You're an idiot. You'd be
Right,
like,
right,
so I
exactly.
shouldn't say
Yeah,
fuck you to the
Right.
judge?
Yeah.
By the way, did you know life sentence isn't life? It's like
Yeah.
25 years.
Right,
I
most
did-
people
yeah,
who get
yeah.
life sentences get
Yeah.
out.
I
Yeah.
thought it was like 100 years. I thought it was like a life.
No,
No.
it's
You gotta
X
get li-
amount.
you gotta
It's
get
a
li-
certain number of
I
years.
think in California
this
it's like 25
bullshit?
years.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people get
Possibility
out.
of parole in 15.
Right.
Yeah.
That's like not even up. You know what?
Prison's easy.
Yeah, prisoners are pussies.
They're fucking, just
Yeah.
suck it up.
Suck it up.
It's 15 years. It's a couple Mondays.
Did you? You get through the first month, you're in the home stretch.
After that first month, it's easy peasy, baby.
Just get a couple bitches.
Can prisoners listen to podcasts?
Oh yeah.
They got
Yeah,
phones.
they got phones. They're
Yeah.
on TikTok.
They have like.
It
They're all-
depends
prisoners
what
are
kind
on
of.
They can only
Prison TikTok is a huge
It depends on the
thing.
jail you're in.
they can only listen to Anthony Camilla's podcast.
You'd think they wouldn't be allowed to have the
They're not
joy
allowed.
of a phone.
Well, it
They're not
depends on
allowed.
what
They
type of.
sneak them in.
They
They're
sneak
not
If you're in
allowed.
a federal, cushy prison, then you have access to the internet. You have TV. You can go. You have a library.
Why are federal prisons better than state?
Well, federal.
Why are they cushy?
Federal crimes are typically something where you're violating a federal law.
White
Well, they're
collar.
always when you're violating a federal law, but federal laws are always something like white collar stuff. So the most severe federal crime is something like where you tried to or you murdered a judge.
Yeah. It's a
Something
real
like that.
badass crime.
Yeah.
You personally murdered a judge?
What?
No, not you, but like you.
Yeah. If somebody murdered,
You didn't hire somebody or like.
yeah, no. If you hired somebody,
Why is that? Why do you get a better prison sentence if you murdered a judge?
Well, because it's considered like a more important crime.
And they respect that.
A better crime.
they actually.
Yeah.
They
And the
actually.
judge is like, you're kind of cool.
Right. This guy. Yeah, we're not
Judge is
sending
like,
you.
you
that.
got balls.
You need a stereo.
The judge is like, you have balls, sir.
Right.
You get internet access.
You get a tablet.
I want to see you
No, but
TikToking.
actually, what it actually is,
Let's give this man a Tempur-Pedic.
but what it actually is they're important prisoners. So you can't have them get killed in a shitty prison by other people.
Okay.
Or something like that. So you want to have them protected. You want these people protected. You
Yeah.
might need them for something. They're involved in a lot of shit.
That is true. A lot of like bigger criminals are usually informing for people to get reduced sentences.
Exactly.
Right.
They're all
They are
doing it.
important to
Whitey
them.
Bulger
Yeah.
and when
Yeah, of course.
Whitey.
So see what happened
Whitey.
when they brought Whitey to general population? They
was
fucking bashed
stabbed
his
and
brains
killed
him
immediately, yeah.
Immediately, yeah.
Whitey Bulger, hero.
It's a damn shame.
Legend.
Damn
Absolutely.
shame.
Santa Monica legend, Whitey Bulger.
Santa Monica legend. I
was looking at his old apartment.
So,
No.
well, you know what? I walked by his old apartments. I found out where it was. I found like a weird Whitey Bulger, like this. It's like a cuck site. Where, where like it's like people that love Whitey Bulger.
Right.
Like,
not people who want Whitey to fuck their wives.
well, I
Yeah.
bet they do.
Well, okay.
But yeah, but it was a fan site.
It's not the purpose of the site.
No, it's not the purpose of the site. That was on the message board. You can find a thread for that.
Right.
But no, so it's just like we love Whitey Bulger. Here's where he ate dinner all the time, and here's where he did his laundry, and here's where he got coffee. And at one point, like right before I left, I just walked around and was like, oh, look, there's that place for you. I mean, it was like a 5-minute walk, but it was still kind of
Yeah, it's
crazy.
very neat, yeah.
It's crazy to think about Whitey Bulger living in that
I still
nice,
remember-
very
It
nice
is,
little
yeah.
area.
I still remember the story where they said they broke in and he was stretching out his tube socks on Gatorade bottles. Do you remember that?
I never heard
And
of
one
it.
of the agents, they go, Whitey, what's with all the fucking tube socks on the Gatorade bottles? He goes, I don't have enough money to buy the good socks. I got to buy the cheap value socks. They hurt my ankles. And so he would have to stretch
Circulation,
them
yeah.
out. It's like the saddest thing. He's like one of the greatest criminals of all time.
Yeah,
and it's just,
I know.
It ends just my ankles hurt
Yeah.
because
Now
of
you
the
have
sock.
empathy.
Yeah,
for
no, I
something.
feel bad for him.
Yeah, so sad. He used to shoot up guys with cocaine so they could stay awake, so they could torture him more. It's really sad.
Yeah, whatever.
Is that what he would do?
Oh yeah,
His poor
Boston
ankles.
gangsters like
He
all-
would inject-
That's like an Irish
Oh, yeah.
torture technique.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Boston.
He was
that was
sick.
like one of them.
Yeah, that's when we
was
were
a
starting out in
monster.
Boston.
Yeah, he was a monster.
Yeah, no,
Irredeemably
it
monster.
started out in Boston, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Torture techniques in Boston are they just speak.
Right.
You're just like, shut up! It's car!
Right. What-
It's car!
Right. Whitey Bulger.
Not car!
Whitey
You're in a
Bulger on
chair,
Rogan.
you're like, shut up!
Kill me.
What were you gonna say, Jim?
Oh, I just said Whitey Bulger on Rogan, talking about the old days in Boston. He's like, now you used to shoot guys up with coke to torture, like you cut their eyelids off so they couldn't close their eyes.
Mark Maron with Whitey Bulger.
Right, yeah.
Mark Maron's like, do we have a thing?
Right. Because I stole a bunch of coke and you tried to kill me back in the day. Or am I wrong? Yeah.
Or am I wrong?
You were the guy, man. You were the guy.
You
cut
were the
people's eyes
guy,
off and you hold a
Whitey.
mirror in front of their head.
Whitey, you were the guy. I was working at the Coffee Connection.
I just come back from L.A.
I worked like an 8-hour shift. I did a set. I called you a stupid fucking, Mick. Sorry, Whitey. I'm sorry.
Nah, it's all good, Mark. I was a different person.
I was
back
a different
then.
guy back then,
Yeah.
Mark.
Anyway, I'm gonna go get stabbed to death in prison.
Is Mark Maron's show still happening?
Yeah, he just did one with a comic I like. I was gonna listen
Didn't
to.
he have Joe Biden's son
forgot.
on?
Yeah, he had Hunter
Couple-
Biden.
He's my
on.
favorite
Hunter
comic.
Biden on?
Hunter Biden.
He has honestly done the funniest comedy of the last year. The
Hunter
Squirtle
Biden's
pic.
amazing.
Have you seen the Squirtle pic?
No, I have not seen that.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah, I think
With
I
the hookers.
I can't believe I haven't
Yeah,
sent it
yeah,
to
like
you.
Squirtle with hookers?
No, he's on a
You listen to
bed.
this.
He's on a bed. There's two hookers
Yeah.
like riding him, like on top, like a T,
Oh,
like
so,
that.
that's so cool.
He's doing
And
like
there's
the
a-
Rico Suave.
Yeah, one of them's like fucking him like straight, and one's fucking him like backwards. And then in the corner of the room is a Squirtle like this big, like from Pokemon.
Yeah.
And it's facing the bed.
Yeah.
And you could tell it was turned to watch the threesome. And it's the funniest guy. Dude. You're not allowed to make. I sent it to some friends who are like woke, and they're like, "Well, he has a problem." I'm like, it's a fucking Squirtle.
Imagine if he was a Republican,
Yeah.
how much
Imagine it was
they'd be into it.
Trump Jr.'s kid.
Right.
People, he'd be on T-shirts
Are you
right
kidding
now.
me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jesus
it's
Christ.
the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Oh,
Guys
man.
smoking PCP or meth
It
or
was
whatever.
amazing.
What did he do that was so wrong, Hunter?
Hunter Biden.
Yeah, what
He's
was
just-
so
just
bad about
Fucked
what he
a couple
did?
whores.
Yeah.
Gave
Did
his
some-
laptop with private info, government private info.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Did a
He
lot
had
of
some
drugs.
private info in a laptop.
That's a security leak. You can't be doing that.
What did he leak?
So I don't have all the information.
It was some bang
He
bus videos.
Yeah, what he had access to some vids.
I don't know what he did actually. You know,
I think it was like correspondence with his dad.
What was it?
I think people alleged it was correspondence with his dad involved in it. The similar
Ukrainian
thing they
talk
tried
or
to
something.
the similar thing they tried to pin on Trump, where it was like, was he talking to leadership in the Ukraine who are trying to help get his dad elected. That type of thing.
I love the idea that like Trump even knows like what Ukraine is. like
found out about it.
the
He's
whole
like
all
that little place by Russia.
Yeah, all the controversies. I love that they acted like Trump has the patience to talk to some goofy Russian.
Yeah.
It's like it was so funny to me. Like they were trying to pin that on him. Like,
Yeah.
do you know him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was talking to Russia to get.
care about
yeah.
oogity boogity, like people that are like oogity boogity. Like he doesn't talk to them. He hates that.
No, he hates it.
He has a wife that's like deaf and dumb.
Yeah, he's just snapping at her.
He goes, "What do you want?"
Yeah.
He goes, "Hold up the sign." He has a sign guy. He goes, "Hold the sign up."
like the Daredevil.
Yeah, he does the letter thing that you point to on the chart.
Right, exactly.
Blink when I get to it.
I always thought that was like amazing. That, like we actually like we're Donald Trump's like the biggest idiot alive, but he's talking to the president of Hungary all day and putting up with that guy's fucking oogity
That
boogity
was
crap.
the narrative. Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Like he'll do biz.
Yeah,
with
no. He's a New York billionaire.
Yeah.
He's not spending his days talking to some guy that can barely put together a sentence.
No, if you have $10 trillion,
What?
then he'll talk to you.
Then he'll talk to you.
Yeah.
Even if you did have money, he's like he would probably go like, "You have money," but he would turn to his like translators and be like, "What is this? I can't do this."
Listen, why is all this soup cold and it looks like shit?
Exactly.
I don't give Dostoevsky. Who gives a
He'd
shit?
be like, "I simply can't.
Right.
I can't."
Yeah.
He's like all day. Donald Trump, the dumbest guy apparently of all time, is just
Yeah.
talking to people that go like, "Well, Mr. President," he'd immediately be like, "Shut up!"
No, that was an odd take, I guess, because he was a big businessman, where he works with other countries.
Well, I think he has worked with Russia a lot, just on real estate.
No, yeah,
deals.
he's worked
Yeah.
with major superpowers, but acting like, oh no, he has super close connections with everybody. It's like, well,
Right.
that's kind of nonsense.
Yeah.
And that's what we're
Nothing, I
voting
mean,
for
I
him
know
again.
that. I'm just nothing I say here is
No, I know it's a
literally
bit. I have
with
to.
any intentional,
I have to say it for
real
myself,
intent.
just to diffuse.
No. True,
yeah,
true.
yeah, exactly.
Well,
you say
yeah.
the funny bit, and then you say, "I don't mean
It's
it."
weird putting in extreme ignorance on video. I
Yeah.
don't
No.
know how I feel.
But that's
about
what is funny, is to be extremely like me saying
Exactly.
Me saying the school shooting thing. I immediately flipped on.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the thing I don't understand. It's like if we were because we posted Gerardo posted this clip of us talking about the menthol ban on
Oh
TikTok.
yeah, I remember. Yeah.
And a lot of the comments were like, "These guys are so off base." It's like we didn't post this to be correct. We're trying to be funny.
Yeah.
Well, TikTok
Being
is
correct is not funny.
By the way,
I am never saying the thing I actually believe.
Yeah.
Or is correct, because that's not interesting. Imagine if every day we did this podcast and we go, "Joey, say the right thing."
Yeah, say
Let's be
the
funny.
correct.
Hey, we're trying to
basic
entertain here,
bitch
folks.
opinion.
Tell me exactly what something is.
Yeah. No.
So it
All
just
right,
keeps
so then you
giving-
do that, and then that happens. We'd go, "You're right." Okay, no, you got to say wrong things. Being wrong is funny.
Joey
First of
just
all, I
gave prisoners advice to get out of prison time.
Yeah, and that is correct.
That's only for good criminals.
Right.
If you're a bad criminal who's hurting people, don't use my
Right.
advice.
Yeah.
You should, gloat about your crime. But I also
If you're a Kaiser Soze type of criminal,
then
Yeah.
use, but they already know.
they
But
know
anyway,
that. Yeah.
But Devin, so I was reading the comments on that TikTok, and what they were saying, the reason this, they were saying you were wrong about this because they were saying that the government was targeting minorities in advertising.
Yeah,
which Richie actually made that point on the full podcast.
But that plays into my point. They're
Well,
saying,
hang on.
Okay.
No, because here's what I'm saying is that, yes, the government may or may not have advertised. First of all, I don't know why they would have thought that black people would like menthols better. I have some research to do on that, but even if they found some weird thing where minorities like menthols better, okay,
Well, it's that Chappelle Show skit.
they made that mistake. Skit where they made that mistake. Okay, whatever. That's an evil thing to do. Does that mean that outlawing them is now the correct thing? I don't think so.
No.
I actually stand by what we said.
I do too, and you want to know what? It's even doubled by that response to what we said,
Yeah.
where I go, okay, no, these communities were targeted. It wasn't racist. You're off the mark. That is racist because you're saying you're now racist.
Yeah.
You're saying black people are too stupid to know that they're being targeted, which is liberal racism.
Yeah.
You don't look at them like people that can make their own fucking decision for themselves, and you go, no, they're just their minds are so simple they can be easily manipulated through advertisements and what. What are we talking about? Like, that's racist. You're being racist.
The general concept that advertising in general is manipulating people in subtle ways that we didn't understand. Never bought that. Social media is one thing because it's something that we're constantly on. Maybe it's addictive or something like that. Nothing addictive about an ad on TV or on a
just
a
fucking
billboard.
Man up.
But
keep your back straight, for Christ's sake. Stop buying into the ads.
Clean your damn room.
Clean your damn room.
Only
eat some meat. And cut out be listening to the tube.
Right.
Lobsters don't smoke menthol cigarettes.
Yeah. Do so much pain pills, you go in a coma because your daughter is killing you. The 13th rule.
But just quickly to finish that up, 5 more seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So even if they were targeted by some evil corporation and they found, minorities are more addicted to menthol or whatever the strategy was, the answer is not, let's take it away. Let's not give people the choice.
Mm-hmm.
That's you're not giving them enough credit. You're not giving me enough credit. I'll be affected by this.
Which we go, maybe I'm wrong in saying like them
let me die.
Banning it's racist. Right?
If I want to die, let me die. I don't want anyone to have I love life, but I don't want anyone else to decide what I can or cannot do.
Yeah.
I know.
I sound like a weird
libertarian.
I hate sounding like
you
that.
can be a little. I have some very libertarian views.
That is my genuine feeling. Though
I feel like I'm only either a socialist or a libertarian.
Well, libertarians
I'm the worst of both groups.
I'm the worst of both.
Yeah.
I feel like I believe in being a libertarian until something like the pandemic happens, where like you're told you can't do anything by your government. So then it's like, well, what am I supposed to? Am I like? What? Like, I need help. You stopped me from.
Oh, you're saying? Yeah, I see what you're saying. No,
it's like how did any libertarian survive throughout the pandemic?
No, I'm not.
Where it's like they don't believe in any government, helping.
That's where libertarian breaks down is where they're like the free market. It's like the free market will rape and kill every living human being,
right?
If it'll make them.
It's
money.
like actually completely ridiculous.
I'll make an amendment real quick too, though, because I'm not a libertarian in any way. I don't even know anything about libertarians. I have ODD, like I mentioned before. I get bothered when people tell me what to do.
Yeah,
I am totally fine with the government helping people out and shit. I support that. I'm happy to pay taxes. I give to charity all the time.
Yeah,
I give to charity.
He gives. Joey gives to charity.
Mm-hmm.
I actually do. But so when the government's coming in and then saying that I can't do something, it just sets off an emotional trigger that I can't help.
Yeah.
I can't help it. It's not intellectual. I just can't help it.
You like supplemental government, not restrictive government.
I don't know about any of that.
Something that benefits people versus something that tells people they can't do something.
Yes, exactly. If you're there only to help and you do everything you do is only helping, that's an imaginary concept that doesn't exist in reality. I have no problems with that ever, and I'm happy to contribute to help others. But as soon as people start fucking with me or anything that I want to do, then it just whatever steam starts coming out of my ears.
Yeah, I get that. I just think it's very funny to be like during the pandemic. I talked to people that said they were libertarians, and I'm like, okay, well, first off, we were told we literally can't go places without it being illegal. So that's already not libertarianism because the government is interfering and telling us that we can't do stuff that we were supposed to be able to do. Right. So like even if you're a libertarian, you're at a job that has made there's rules now in place at your job from the government where you can't have as many people there or like whatever.
Well, I mean, you can have a political belief and the government doesn't correspond to act that way. You know what I mean?
Sure, but it's funny to be a libertarian within a not like within a with. I had people give me like libertarian views on things during the pandemic where I'm like, but what are we even talking about? Like it is run by the government. Like we were all told we have to go home by the government.
Right.
So now you're how are you a libertarian only in the positive effect of that where it's like, well, we need money. Like the government needs to start sending people some money to live off of because they've stopped them from working.
Right.
These guys are a mess.
It literally makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense. Like, and then like,
and I'm really against all unemployment because I haven't gotten it yet.
You should be.
Until I get unemployment, I'm anti these guys. They're never getting jobs, frankly. And everyone I know who's on unemployment refuses to work, and they're disgusting. And also, every homeless person in LA should be shot into the sun.
That was Caitlyn Jenner said that, not
Caitlyn
Jace.
Jenner. Hey, girls.
Caitlyn Jenner running for governor.
Yeah, I know.
She's making a big run for it. She's coming in strong.
I think she's going to get some votes.
People are already making jokes like it's Trump again. Oh man, just wait.
Oh, those transphobes.
She'll be
those transphobes.
She'll be the there's a lot of transphobes out there that don't believe in Caitlyn Jenner and her ability to be governor, and I believe in it.
I also think a lot of Californians are going hard Republican.
Yeah,
after the pandemic.
Yeah, they are.
They're going hard Republican.
They are. I don't know who these Californians are.
We're all kicking MAGA hats under the desk.
How long have we done, Gerardo?
We've done about an hour 30.
Okay, nice.
Nice.
We're good. We're good.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I'll say one last thing. Caitlyn Jenner will. She's running for governor of California, and even if she doesn't win, she will likely run over the governor of California.
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Anyway,
We're all Democrats. I voted for Hillary.
Richie, and Richie's going to say something.
I voted for Biden.
I hate to do a little business at the end, but plug what's going on over there.
Just telling the camera I voted for Biden and Hillary.
I did vote for Biden, and I agree with everything he does for the next 4 years.
I vote for all the right causes.
I voted for anyone you like.
I did it. I did it.
Never voted once.
I voted for Roseanne in 2012. Literally, I'm not kidding. I voted for Roseanne in 2012.
No, I was just gonna unfortunately end it boring with housekeeping of, please. Patreon episodes. If you like the podcast, tell a few people.
So, listen on Patreon. If you like the episodes, I don't know, tell a friend. We have a Patreon episode every week. If you're on the Patreon, don't leave the $3 tier. I am not putting the new episodes on the $3 tier, so just leave that so I can delete that.
You're kicked off.
You're
that
done.
seems
Who's doing
unfair
a
to the
$3
$3.
Well, that's why I'm keeping it for now. I'm just genuinely asking people.
I want to say sorry to the $3 guys. Like, sorry to hear that.
Sincerely, if you don't have $5 a month, what are you doing?
No, I know exactly.
What
What do you even?
to the podcast? Get your life
the
You
together.
shouldn't even have access to a device that can let you listen to anything.
You shouldn't have the internet. You should be out working.
I mean, seriously.
$3.
Exactly.
That's insane.
So I'm just, no shame. Just asking you if you are in the
a
three.
little bit of shame.
Everything's moving to the 5.
If you're in the 3,
so just move to the 5 so I can delete that goddamn tier. Okay.
If you're in the 3, Caitlyn Jenner's going to get rid of you soon anyway. So
Yes, exactly. If you move to the 5, Richie will be off the podcast.
But can I say seriously, really quick to your listeners, as I'm just a guy who's done a couple
This is
episodes.
Jace, Sad Drawings by Jace. He's famous. He's on Reddit.
I'm on Reddit. I've done a podcast for 2 years. If you like these guys, I'm motioning to the camera for some reason. If you like these guys, I know it's the wrong. I'm only doing the wrong camera. I told you that.
Motion to that one.
I don't do the right one. If you like these guys, they put a lot of work into this, and really a thing that can help them just feel good about what they're doing is give them a 5-star rating on
that really does
iTunes.
help.
Yeah, guys,
Somehow.
Subscribe to the
They made a
Patreon.
mattress up against the wall.
Subscribe to Devan's YouTube. But seriously,
No,
support
Jace is
the
being-
guy.
thank you.
There's some guys out there, and I know we had this at Brain Joe when it ended. They're like, "Oh, I was meaning to leave a review. Bring it back." It's like you listen to 90 fucking episodes. Maybe if you have to review, we wouldn't have ended it. So just
all those things.
I was meaning, just leave the
Are-
review.
yeah.
Like, I mean, we have. It seems like I don't know if I'm combining views.
right.
We're
You guys are at
almost-
10,000 5-star views right now.
We're close. We're close to the top.
As we said before, if you like Congratulations with Crystalia, you're gonna love us. If you like the
Yes.
fighter and the kid, you're gonna love us.
If you're a fan of the Fighter and the Kid and the subreddit of Fighter and the Kid,
Right.
this is your goddamn podcast.
If
gonna
you
love
did
us.
open mics for 3 years and you hate comedy,
Yes, exactly.
If you loved Kill Tony,
Or
you're
if
gonna
you
love
think
us.
there should be a VR for school shootings.
right?
Yeah, you're
Either
gonna
way.
love
This
us.
is the pod,
Either
baby.
way.
Yeah,
Or
that's
you
our
just-
demo.
It's our
Yeah.
demo.
Or you're at least open to a debate about
Yeah.
it.
Exactly.
Anyway, listen to the podcast, subscribe or donate on Patreon for new
Hey,
episode
Devin,
every
can you
week.
cover up yours for a second?
Yeah.
So, guys, listen, Devin's like close to killing himself. You have to subscribe. It's getting like really fucked up.
Yeah, it's not
subscribe.
good.
Like
Yeah,
he will kill himself soon. I'm not kidding. Go ahead. Devin.
I don't know what he said. I couldn't hear what Joey just said, but no, please seriously subscribe to the Patreon or I will kill myself soon. I'm close to the end. I can't keep putting out videos that get
I got
3,000 views. I have to pee too.
Yeah.
All right, bye.
Bye. God, I have to pee.
Everyone's welcome upstairs.
I drank all that.
No, you did not.